And
Does
we're
look like
live.
NWO Hulk Hogan.
Ladies and
Look at
gentlemen,
this man.
we're back with another episode of the Draxx Life. I need a theme song. Yeah,
Oh,
so
there is one.
Oh God.
You
here
know
we
the
are.
NWO theme song? No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. So I always look at our pictures when I'm doing the editing. I see Avery's always looking good, man. He's always got these outfits on. I was like, I'm stealing something, but I got nothing.
If it ain't Ralphie, it ain't right, baby.
Sunglasses and the headband. I feel like I should be, I don't know, like a
No, you look good.
1980s guitarist.
Yeah, Joe called it. You look like Hollywood Hogan from the NWO WCW era. That's exactly what you look like.
I'm liking it. Boys, I'm happy to see you. As you listener might hear, I have a little bit of a cough, a little of a throatiness. So I apologize if I sound a little nasally. But it is Friday. We are back with another episode of the Draxx Life. Today's episode will be Conversational Parkour. And what's up, guys? How you doing?
I'm Joe. Remember when Joe Namath and Susie Colbert? Remember that interview? I'm struggling a little bit here. I was with the boys last night.
Who's with the Union boys? All right.
Yeah. Fagans. Shout out Fagans in Woodlawn every damn time. So,
how far is this place from your job?
I usually get a ride there.
Okay.
From one of the guys, but I take a cab home because it's either a cab is 10 minutes, but if I took the subway, I would have to walk. I would have to walk to the subway stop, take it, and then walk again. It would be like 45 minutes an hour. Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, 10-minute cab. Every episode we do on a Friday morning, there's a good chance Robert Avery is not 100%.
Yeah.
Which is
sometimes
funny,
I am. Sometimes
you are.
Sure.
And what's funny is that usually you are the first person to send a message in the morning. And every time I look at the message, I'm like, how's this guy up? Did he go to bed last night?
Yeah, because it's usually when you wake up in the middle of the night to rock a piss. That's why.
But it's 7 a.m. in this case.
But it's 7 in the morning. Yeah, we're getting up there. That's one of the things about getting older, man. You wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom a lot more than I used to. Yeah, it's true, man. Am I lying?
No, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
So yes, Susie Colbert, Joe Namath, Joe. I'm struggling.
Oh God, I never want to get that reference ever again.
Yeah, so Chris, there was a scene, not a scene, it was an actual interview like 20 years ago where an old alumni of the Jets, the one time they ever won the Super Bowl, their quarterback was wasted, completely obliterated as they were celebrating the anniversary of their Super Bowl. And he tried to make out with the girl that was interviewing him
on national TV.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. What year was this?
Like 2004, something like that.
I gotta look this up.
It was.
Can you imagine, like, if you're the woman and you're like, I'm cognizant we're on camera.
Yeah, this was on ESPN. It was on Monday Night Football. Yeah,
230-pound guy. Like, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah, it was bad.
He was older then, but still, it just looked awful.
Looked bad.
It was so bad, dude. But it became an infamous like football meme, like NFL football meme. Kissing Susie Colbert was a website. It was a website.
Oh God,
that was her name. Shout out Susie Colbert. She's awesome. Yeah. But
so you're in that state of mind at this moment.
I'm struggling because that's the way you said it. He's like slurring his words and everything. Yeah. Broadway Joe, baby. Yeah, it was embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the whole Jets, but that's the Jets, Joe. That's the Jets. They're just an embarrassment. All right. So, how are you doing, Joe? First of all, how are you doing?
I'm maxing and relaxing.
I like that you're in the Nike phase now. You're just rocking the Nike.
The next evolution.
Yeah.
Well, I've always had Nike though.
Yeah, the Giants are Nike mostly. Yeah.
What I wish is that we could get Joseph back into the good old days.
Here we go again with this
3-piece.
I do agree with that.
Kenneth Cole Italian leather shoes.
I still have them.
Oh, dude, I'd love to get you back there. We're in the new evolution. You went from that Giants gear. That was a good 6-7 years.
Special team coach era. That's right.
And now you're in the athletic. I can't wait till you achieve your physical goal and then you cut and then you're just, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to see that evolution of Joseph Mark.
I've gotten way too accustomed to my hoodies now, so we'll see.
Well,
But
time will tell.
yeah, you're right.
Time will tell. All right, so today's episode, conversational parkour. We didn't have a specific topic, so I pitched to the group, to the lads, to the boys, that pretty much we could just take some turns throwing out some random questions and then seeing where that leads us. There's so much going on in the world, and it doesn't really take us much to figure out something random to talk about. So, who wants to go first? Actually, I'm going to nominate Robert Avery.
I'll set the table. So we're gonna try to stay in the parameters, but obviously we go in and out. That's the way it is. That's just we jump from rooftop to rooftop. So
yeah, man. Batman style.
We're gonna talk about if the three of us had opportunity to go to any world event that present day we could actually attend. The non-sports, so no Super Bowl, no FIFA World Cup final, none of that. If you had to go to like a cultural event anywhere in the world, which one would you go to and why? And this was inspired. This was inspired because, as much as I downplay it, I will admit Corvo's right. I am a fan of fashion, and I do kind of like Hollywood a little bit, even though I shit on it a lot.
It's like you shit on it because you love it. Like you're like,
I like it. Yeah.
But go
So
ahead.
the Met Gala is for anyone who doesn't know, most people should, is a fashion event. It's like a charity fashion event at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the Upper East Side in New York. It's always the first Monday of May annually, every year, once a year.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And I think this year it happened to fall on Cinco de Mayo, which probably upped the ante a little bit there. I love Cinco de Mayo, underrated.
It is kind of an underrated one because it sneaks up on you, and then you're like, oh, let's go out and have a margarita or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's Cinco de Mayo, one of my favorite holidays, it's the chairperson of this is Anna Winter, excuse me.
Here comes the NYU connection.
Yeah, there's going to be a connection here. It's I mispronounced it. I'm a stickler for pronunciation. It's Anna Winter is how it's pronounced, but it's spelled like win, tour. Like you win a game, tour, but it's pronounced Anna Winter. She's so Joe knows who she is, but Chris, she's basically the if fashion had a public figure that was the mogul, that was like the top dog, it's Anna Winter. She's the editor-in-chief of Vogue, and she co-founded Condé Nast, which is a media company.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, and she worked with us. So there's the connection with you and I, Chris. The headquarters are in One World Trade.
Yeah, they were right. I think they were right below us.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was like, you remember when you went into the back entrance, they had their own separate entrance. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, they had multiple floors in the new tower.
Yeah, and some of our coworkers saw her like walking through. What do you call that? The Oculus.
Okay, so would that be the event you would go to?
Yeah. So basically, this is an event that I've always wanted to go to for a couple of reasons. I love fashion. I would obviously rock Ralph Lauren. I don't know how you guys feel about it. How do you feel about these big, elaborate, crazy, like Sistine Chapel type dresses it's mostly the women that attend them. The men, some men go crazy. Like, what's his name? Will Smith's son wore some crazy shit to this again. This guy's a little off key to me here.
Yeah, he's got a little jiggle.
I don't like the elaborate like painting style dresses where you need 10 people to carry the back of the dress with you. Look up Tom Ford.
I think the whole idea is to just garner attention. It's supposed to be that night.
Yeah. So the funds for this are given to the costume department at the Met. is like the museum, which is like the museum for all the history of fashion. You
Okay. So I didn't know that. I didn't know
yes,
that.
it's basically a charity fundraiser. It's the coolest cocktail party in the world. Everyone from all around the world. That's why I want to go to it. I just want to go for the party aspect of it. It's basically you're being that like anyone that's anyone in public fame
Life, yeah.
is there.
Well, especially within like the vein of like entertainment,
Yeah,
the
sports
arts,
too. Sports.
But
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, now sports has become
It is
entertainment.
entertainment. Yeah.
yeah. You're fair
Um,
play. Fair play.
Interesting. So that's what you would, if I could give you a magic ticket that could open up
That's
any
the
door to any event
I would
in
go
the
to the Met Gala.
world, you go to the
Yeah,
Met Gala.
yeah.
Really?
hmm
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I kind of am. Like, I guess we couldn't choose sports in this scenario.
Yeah, I would pick the World Cup final if it
Okay.
was any event, but Met Gala for like a cultural event,
All
and
right.
it's for a good cause. It's a charity. It's not. It's not just. It's not like the Oscars. I know you guys don't like award shows. It's not just Hollywood like praising one another and clapping for themselves. Basically,
You ever see the
it's
Parks and Recreation? You watched the
yeah. I
show.
love that show.
There's in like the last season, one of the characters, White, is he's running a charity of like a big candy brand, and like he's eating all like his day life is like it's so great. Like they have like you hear that dog?
Yeah,
They have like he has like a masseuse, all this food, and like he's starting to feel like a little bit like this is wrong. Like we're wasting all this money, and the woman's like, it's all a tax write off. Like I don't buy the whole charity thing anymore. I don't. I think it's
yeah.
all a
You might
scam.
be right. They might. The
It's
Met
a
is
scam.
definitely taking a cut.
It's a
For
scam.
sure.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Joseph Mark.
Wait. So, what do I think about the Met Gala?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? And then tell
And then
me the event
I
that
give
you
you a
want.
magic ticket. What's the
Yeah.
event you would go to?
Okay. I kind of think it's a little too self indulgent. I think the idea behind it is great. Like you could
Well, what's the underlying idea first? Tell me what that is.
usually I think from what I remember, it's every year there's like a new theme. So people they get to hire their own like stylists and get to be
Mhm.
creative and just kind of think outside the box and do
Cool.
something different. And like Rob said, I didn't know this, but it kind of it makes sense to have all that stuff go to charity and kind of benefit the Met. But I also think it's a way to highlight the Met too, because I know the Met.
Oh yeah.
They charge admission for their?
Yes, everyone pays. Even, I mean, I'm sure some people can get in special VIP.
Well,
But
this is the Metropolitan Art Museum.
Yes,
correct. Yeah. Where is it, Joe? It's in the 90s, right? In
Uh,
Upper East
yeah,
Side.
No.
Upper East Side. Yep,
Of-
right,
it's
right
Upper
next
East
to
Side.
Central Park.
Is that high?
Correct. Yeah.
So if you are out of
It-
state, you have to pay. If you are in state, it's donation
Yeah, so
with
Yeah.
a
Well,
suggestion
I mean,
of $15.
there's people from all over the world, Chris. It's
Well,
not
correct.
just American. Yeah.
'Cause they make.
It's
I mean, money's coming in
Yeah,
hand over
the
fist.
tickets are if you're not like I guess they like Joe said there's themes and they highlight certain.
Oh, I'm not talking
public
about the Met
figures.
Gala. I'm talking like if
Oh.
you go to the Met as
Oh,
a guest.
itself. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes,
So
No, it's not
it's
$50 to go to the
donation.
Met Gala. No.
It's donation. It costs $75,000 to go to the Met. If you just want,
nuts.
if you just want to, like, let's say you're from France and you just want to attend the Met Gala, they'll let
Yeah.
you go, but you got to pay $75K.
Well, and I even imagine though,
Yeah.
even that it's like they're gonna curate. Even there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who can afford 70,000 in the world.
Yeah, no,
Not all of
exactly.
them are going to be allowed to go. You got to have a certain, I think, quality about you. You probably have to look a certain way or have a
Absolutely.
certain resume.
Yeah, exactly. But the people that are walking the red carpet, which is probably the main part of it, is I think those people are in pain. But they're
Oh, no.
donating. They better be donating. To your point,
No.
they better be donating to the museum. Like I think Cardi B was there. Everyone's there.
Yeah.
Go back, Joe.
Yeah.
We kind of
Go-
cut you off.
Yeah,
finish your
sorry.
thought.
No, this is just like free flowing. I like this. But yeah, I think it's a good way to highlight the Met. Like when you think about New York City, I would assume Met is up there, but it's not in like the upper like echelon of places to go to for
Yeah.
visiting in New York City. So doing that event once a year, it's just a way to highlight, oh, this is the Met. It's the Metropolitan Museum of Art. this is an important place. We should give it our due. So yeah, I think it's a good event, but I definitely think it's a very self indulgent
Yeah.
activity. It's
Yeah,
not something I would be looking forward to every year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
the opulence of it is it could be a little off putting. I like it
Well,
though.
yeah.
It's once a year. Yeah.
I also wonder, like, I don't think, and I'm not that dumb of a person, but like, I don't think I ever realized that the Met Gala and the Metropolitan Art Museum, like, I guess people who watch it and they see the clips of it, I mean, you just see celebrities like
Mhm.
like as you said, Joe, being fawned over. I don't even know if most people realize like what is the underlying where are they?
I
You know what I
think
mean?
I think most people who are into that world do. They
Maybe,
know.
maybe,
The
but those
average
that's going
person
to show up
wouldn't, but
in
definitely the
okay,
person that is tuned in, they know.
maybe. Well, yeah, but think about it. It's like when you go to the grocery store and you see or bodega and you see all of the magazines at the checkout. Those are all over the country,
Yeah.
right? So people recognize the celebrity and what they're dressed up as, but I don't think most people like maybe know like okay, well, why was this person dressed like a tiramisu cake? Um, you know. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. The whole for me, I think if I was a genie and I could give you a wish, Rob, I think it would be for you to go to that event and then have a conversation with you right after. Because I'd be
That'd be
curious
great.
if you. I mean, are those people that you really think you'd have interesting conversations with? The more and
Uh,
more, the closer and closer the lens gets on like the celebrity world,
I
like
would
the
be
more like soulless I think it is. I don't think these people are like
yeah.
that interesting to talk to.
That's a good question, but what does intrigue me is I would want to know that for sure. You see what I'm saying? It would be interesting to find out if these people are cool or they're just empty shells for fashion design. But what I do like the idea of some people, some of them donate their what they wear because they're basically art pieces.
Yeah.
You're only going to wear it this one time,
Hmm.
and then you donate it to the museum along with your donation, your financial donation to the charity.
All
It's
right.
it's what the best way to describe it is. It's the pinnacle of fashion
Fashion,
in,
yeah.
in the world, in not just New York or the country or USA. The pinnacle fashion event of the world, and it's the coolest cocktail party, I would say, every
All
year.
right. All right. All right.
That's so. Remember when I said I want to be at like a Martin Scorsese, like Howard Hughes type party? That's what it is. It's the last one.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the last
and
one.
at the end when they start eating in biblical
Mhm,
chords,
mhm. Oh yeah,
stick around for that
you're
part too.
gonna go there. You're really gonna go there.
Um,
Yeah, I would be
hey,
interested to find
I'm
that
gonna
out too.
say if some of those parties, there's probably
You
the
think there's
dark
some
arts are
weird,
practiced.
yeah, weird stuff is happening? I
All right,
don't doubt it.
Joey,
Yeah.
what do we got for you? I got a magic ticket. It can open up any door, a key. Which door would you open? To what event? I got to think of my answer. I don't even think I have an answer to be perfectly honest.
I got
See,
a couple suggestions
Okay,
for Chris. Go ahead, Joe.
go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
I
And Joe,
normally
for
mine's
you,
would
I'm gonna open up sports. Pick if it's
no.
sports. Okay, go
I
ahead.
think that's a cop out. Normally, I would
Okay.
pick a sport, but I'm not going to do that. It probably I'm probably have to go back into the DeLorean time machine and go with
That's I like that.
shit. Probably would have to go to like Comic-Con for when they introduced the first Avengers.
Oh,
Oh my
nice.
god.
Yeah, I'll probably have to.
So I like that. Go ahead, keep going.
Probably have to go with
What
that.
a waste of a golden ticket.
So, but
Fucking
why?
hell.
Okay, so but why?
It's the
Right?
first
Why?
time it's the first time you see that the fans see that group of actors interact with each other. You get to see that chemistry. You get to
All
see
right,
that first trailer.
I
It's
respect.
just like the hype machine at that time period. When once we're circling back to a previous episode where everyone had that initial gathering, we could see this one thing, and it's not splintered through all these different media sites. You could all see it at once as a whole group. to see that happen was pretty cool, and I would love to relive that event, considering how kind of watered down everything is now with Marvel.
Wait, so were you at that event?
No,
Okay,
definitely
okay.
not. But it's something that I would. Normally, I hate crowds. I wouldn't. Comic-Con is not something I would normally go to, especially every year. But to experience that one in San Diego for that group, for that one movie, I would definitely want to just experience that once.
That's cool. I mean, I get it. What is one question? So, considering that you're going back in time, if you were like able to ask the panel one question or give one comment or advice, knowing what you know now, what would you tell them?
Or comment or question?
Yeah, because that's like a decade later.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's run its course. Like, what would you say to them? All right, you sit on that then.
Yeah.
Ponder.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. What would, if you could talk to all of them right on the stage, what would you say to them?
But like because think about it, they didn't know Avengers would be successful.
Right.
They didn't
They
know it was gonna
thought
be
it
that
would
big.
be,
Yeah.
but that's carried the franchise for the next decade. Like, think about all the kids that went to college because of this movie franchise. Like, all of their kids, their kids' kids. Those actors never have to work again.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay. I know what
residuals are
question.
wild. Yeah.
This
Go ahead.
happened like 10 years after that initial event, but what made them decide to all get tattoos commemorating being that original group?
Okay.
Because they did that in Atlanta,
Did
and then
they?
yeah, they all did. That's pretty. You don't hear actors. I mean,
Lord
I
of the
guess they
Rings is the
become.
only other
That's a
one.
That's
Yeah.
little.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Lord
was
of the,
that?
no,
Lord of the Rings is the
yeah,
other one.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but you spend so much time with each other. It makes sense why Lord of the Rings and Avengers. You spend 3 years, 10 years with each other.
Oh,
You
yeah.
form this familial bond.
Well, those guys are friends. I mean,
you
I think,
become real friends.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of, with most movies, it's like you do 3 months and then you are
You're
shooting
out.
and then you're gone.
Yeah.
Whereas with these, like, it's almost like they shoot a series, like a TV show. Like these people become like your coworkers, your friends,
It's
the people who are not even on camera, like the actual production people. You see them every day.
yeah,
I would imagine it was very heartfelt when they were finally done. That probably was like a little traumatic.
I can imagine.
All
yeah.
right.
I don't mind that part of it, like the the bonding part of it. But getting mad, like, what if the three of us got matching tattoos? I don't know about that one. Like, we don't need to go there. That's a little nah, not for me.
I mean, the Lord of the Rings one was cool too because, like, essentially they're shooting on site. They're like in the New
New
Zealand,
New
Zealand.
Zealand. Yep.
like, wilderness for like a long time. I mean, that's like the Apocalypse Now shoot. Like, that was a war. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Can't see myself ever getting a tattoo, but I don't know if I.
Yeah, that part is a little corny to me, but I love the fact that they all became really good friends with
Yeah.
each other. That's cool.
All right, my turn. Okay, give me some hints because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
this is tough.
art I would not do. Like I had that time where, like, if you'd asked me this maybe 15 years ago, I would have been like maybe the Oscars when I still used to watch that stuff. Maybe
That's a good one. That's a good
like
one, though.
the Actors Guild Awards or any of that kind of stuff. Now no. I think the least. Music further down than acting. Um
That's crazy. I did. That's wild.
yeah, I don't want to talk to any of these people.
Music festivals are awesome.
Well, no, a music
Y-
festival is one
y-
thing, but that I
You're
can
talking
pay
about
for. I'm talking about like
award
Oh, like
shows,
the
like the
Grammys.
awards
VMAs. Yeah.
or like an
Oh, VMAs.
exclusive
Nah,
event, like,
Grammys different.
yeah,
Yeah.
that we can't get into. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Where you're just talking to people in that industry. Like, I don't think I'd have anything. That to me is boring.
Yeah.
I think it would be something that's like related to like technology. Like, if you could put me in a room with a bunch of like people who are like building cool shit, and like I'm like the monkey in the room and I get to like ask questions and talk to some of these people, like, that would be interesting. It would be cool to be in some of these, like, one world order organizations and just sit in the back row and hope no one pays attention to me while, like, they're plotting like world domination, I would
That's a
use
good
that golden
answer.
ticket.
That's a
Like
good
the
answer.
build, what is it? The Build-A-Boar.
The Bilderberg Group and the
Yeah,
Bohemian Grove.
yeah. Some of those where it's like,
That's a good answer,
I
actually.
would be down to, and I don't want to be part of. I just want to like
Be
sneak
a fly on the
in
wall.
and then have like a cloak of invisibility so that no one is gonna like deal with me.
That's
Those are
what
the
Alex
events,
Jones did.
yeah,
He did
which is
literally did.
crazy.
We literally did that. Yeah.
Dude, he crawled apparently like under fencing or whatever to get into
Yeah.
this thing.
And
Oh, God.
he watched it from like
Yeah.
in like the shrubbery. Yeah.
So I think it would be kind of interesting. I think it would be like interesting.
It's
I would
real.
maybe use like, yeah, you can find it on YouTube the video.
Yeah.
I think I would use my golden ticket for that, or like a very exclusive where you have people who are like very knowledgeable building things and like are well connected, and to be in like a cocktail party with those kinds of people. Because those are the people who own the people that go to the Met Gala.
Yeah, fair
Let's be
play.
honest.
Yeah,
Like
they're the
the
ones that
hierarchy
are
of
really
things,
pulling the strings.
they
Yeah.
own those people.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good
so
answer.
I
I
think
like that.
I think that's what I would do.
Bohemian Grove is a good answer. What
Yeah.
about something like going to the St. Peter's Basilica Mass on Easter?
Oh,
I think
something like that would be
yeah.
pretty. Like some of these, yeah, that's a. I didn't even think that way, but
That's
yeah, that would be kind of amazing.
yeah, like even I'm not Catholic anymore, as we all
Yeah.
know, but even I would like to go to
Yeah,
that.
like some of
Yeah.
these historic locations, if there's events that they happen like once a year, I think it would be like very interesting to do something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, the Easter Mass there is insane.
yeah,
In a good
that
way.
would be
In a
awesome.
good I got some other ones.
Yeah, no, okay. Let me see. Let me throw out one
I'm
of my questions.
yeah, throw out the question,
Let me
but
see. I have one
see.
that is. Let's see. All right, here. This is a really for Avery.
Yeah, I got a
Alright.
couple questions after this. Go ahead.
What is one conspiracy you think is real,
Oh,
and one you think is completely bogus?
um,
And maybe do the bogus one first, because there's so many
yeah,
conspiracies out there. You know, you got to kind of like comb them out. Some are like, I believe in this, and some are like, so I'll go first. So for
Yeah.
me, like as far as conspiracies go, like bogus, like flat Earth, bogus. I don't think there's any water, and it's crazy that people like that's a hill they're gonna die on.
that's terrible. Yeah,
And also I think I'm on the like that we went to the moon. I think we went to the moon. So that's one I don't know if I'd call that completely bogus, but I definitely lean on the side of we went to the moon that we didn't. One conspiracy I think is like is the Kennedy assassination. Like I think that's 100%
yes,
like a very valid. We shouldn't even call it a conspiracy. There's shenanigans afoot. It's almost at this point like a known thing, and it's just no one's willing to like actually say, yeah, this is exactly what happened. It's not the narrative that's been given is not accurate. Yeah, so that's what I thought of.
no, those are good ones. My bogus one is close to yours. It's that space is fake. Like
Okay.
the universe is just like a hologram projection.
Wow.
Nah,
Okay.
there's people that believe that big time.
Yeah,
That
dude.
but it ties in what he says with the fake moon landing. Yeah, that's complete. I think the universe
Okay.
is the deity. It can't be fake. That's my
This is the
point.
thing. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't believe we're in a simulation.
Nah, I don't
I
believe that
I
one
call
either.
that bogus
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
All
I
right.
agree.
What about
And
you? Go ahead. Sorry.
wait, and the one that I like the most. I mean, why do you even have to ask me this one?
Is it gonna be ancient
Aliens.
Here,
Yeah, it's aliens.
it's aliens, guys.
They're real.
We don't
It shouldn't
understand
even be a conspiracy
because it's
anymore.
aliens,
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying it's aliens,
but it's aliens.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm not saying they built the pyramids, but you know they built
But
the
they
pyramids
did.
as aliens.
But they did.
All right, Joe. I know you're not a conspiracy guy, but like, there's
Mm-mm.
got to be something that's out there that you're like, yeah, I think that at least the story we've been told is not accurate. And there's definitely probably a huge pile of conspiracies that you're like, that's nonsense. So start whichever one's easier for you, and you can pass too.
Yeah, there's a
Since
lot
we
of
have a bunch of
Hollywood
questions.
conspiracies if you want, if that jogs the memory. Anyway,
let me pass on this for like 2 minutes.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's kick it back to. All right, Joe, you haven't asked a question yet. You can throw a question.
Damn. I'm still thinking about the
All right, then
previous
you
one.
think-
Okay, I
Back
got.
to Avery.
Yeah, let's go.
I got a bunch
Yeah,
queued up.
he's good hosting. He's good. Would you guys like to go? Have you guys ever been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans? Would
I
you
have
want to do
not.
that?
I would like to. I'd like to go to New Orleans. Period.
Yeah, I've been there 3 times. It's cool.
3 times. Jesus.
Have you been to Mardi Gras 3 times or just been to New
No,
Orleans?
I've never been to Mardi Gras. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool, man. New Orleans is like I think it's like an interesting.
I love Louisiana.
Yeah, it's like a weird state. It's
Yeah.
like Mardi, like it's just a weird place. Like New Orleans, it's like old, has so much history. I think it's interesting. It's like this American French fusion.
African influence as well, big time.
I think also there's like more ghost stories and ghost sightings in like New Orleans and Louisiana than any state in the continent.
I wouldn't be
makes sense.
surprised.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
dude, a lot of weird stuff.
I've been to a couple of LSU games, Joe. It's LSU.
Yeah,
the
that I know. I
football
know
game.
you like LSU.
So the stadium, Chris, is called Death Valley, and it holds even the name. Think about that. To your point, like the voodoo stuff. The nickname of the LSU
Is odd,
college,
yeah.
It's called Death Valley, and it holds 100,000 people.
That's crazy.
It's wild. But the tailgate, you wake up at like 6 a.m. and you're tailgating all until like 3:30. It was awesome. I've done it like 3 times.
Yeah, that
So
would be crazy.
so my normal trip was I go to New Orleans. So like with a group of friends, we go to New Orleans for like a couple of days, and then on Saturday you go to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, and then you go to the game. Yeah. It's fantastic. I couldn't recommend it enough. LSU football game plus the tailgate before and after the game,
No,
because it's an all night, it's an all day thing.
Avery is a man of the people.
Yeah, see I couldn't recommend that enough.
Baton
Especially you, if
Rouge.
anyone who likes sports or likes especially football,
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because I feel like you do travel for sporting events.
I do, but college football, I think, is one of the like most pure American sporting events there are. But to be out there for that long and just
it's the whole day, Chris. It's 24 full hours. Yeah,
Joe's like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Nope.
I'll sleep in the back of the truck.
My liver would slap the shit out of me. If
I mean,
decided
but you
to
don't have
do
to be
that.
drinking. You could you're out there having fun.
No, you
eating
have to
food.
drink.
Yeah,
They-
especially
they won't
down
let you not drink.
and for college, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
What-
so here's my question.
Go ahead.
We're gonna look into the future. What is one thing that you look forward to about becoming an old man? and don't I'm old man. No, I'm talking about like your 70s, your 80s.
Wow.
Like legitimately, you're an old man. What's one thing you look forward to?
Yeah.
Joe, I feel like you're gonna have a great time as an old man. I feel like you're already leaning into the crotchetiness that will only manifest more in your 70s and 80s.
Sure, but I wouldn't want to be. I guarantee you, a majority of people who were to answer this question don't want to answer this question. Majority of men.
No, I don't want to be
Yeah.
70 or 80 years old and an old man. I don't mind being 70, 80 years old and being the body I'm in now. But that ain't most likely reality.
Yeah,
Who
that's
knows?
true.
Maybe. But yeah, like if you had to be an old man, what's one
dude.
thing?
These questions, man.
And like we worked at the Apple
Yeah.
Store, like you bumped into a lot of old men. There's got to be
Yeah.
some quality. I'll go first. One, like
Yeah.
you get a lot of passes. Like you can pretty much be a dick and like play off the old man. You can play off like not knowing, like you can act stupid, and people are gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, and you could be like an evil genius. Also, think old man, the classy old man who wears like the fedora and has the walking stick, like you see in Greenwich Village. Dude, I respect that. You know, they're sitting at a park bench, like reading a book. I don't know. You can become
respect the elders.
wise
I
and
love that.
respectable.
Yeah, distinguished is the word I
Yeah.
would use. Yeah, I would look forward to the wisdom that I would have by that time, and similar to what you would say, I would just not give a shit about anything. I just
yeah.
won't care, because it's like I could be dead. I could not wake up tomorrow.
Yeah,
what if
exactly.
I would not? I'm not that I would be disrespectful to anyone, but it's like, if I'm at the grocery store and I'm trying to pay and someone has to wait a couple seconds, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
I think
And
you also become more
which
honest
happened to
because
me, by the way.
oh yeah.
Yeah, which is why I brought that up. It happened to me because I did my grocery trip this morning, uh, and I had to. I needed Gatorade.
You're like, I need
and
the nectar.
and there was a woman, like, should like, respect to her, old Latin woman, and she started paying in like dollars, and
Coins.
then the coins kept coming out, and I
Oh
was just
man.
sitting behind her, like, but it was like she doesn't give a shit, dude, which I respect. She has no. She's like, my time here is coming to an end.
Yeah. She's like, I waited in line. It's your turn to
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
I've
gonna bring it
waited
out
in
to the
line for
last penny.
75 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly. So she was just paid to getting the nickels out too. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long.
Yeah. You,
Yeah. But I would look forward to that, like unbridled liberation is what I'd say. Like, you don't care what people think, or I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and if you have a problem with it,
Tough luck.
that's on
yeah.
you. Yeah.
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you say, Joe? What do you got?
For me, I would say not being part of the rat race anymore.
I think
Just
that's a big one.
That's a good answer.
That's a real
yeah,
good
just
answer.
being on your own time, kind of enjoying the day to day a bit more than
Yeah.
just constantly being on the go. It's just that grind can like grind you down. So yeah,
It's a
just
good
not
answer.
being a part of that rat race would be it for me.
Well said. That's
Uh
a
oh, the
very
glasses
good
came
answer.
off.
Yeah.
He's concentrating.
That's right. No, I like that. That's good. Not having to worry about paychecks and stuff like that. You're just straight chilling.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they do. I would assume that all of us, all three of us, are
Well,
going to have
yeah,
to,
yeah,
but not being on like a particular time frame. Like, well, we have to make it to this point in time by this time, or else.
Yeah.
Those things don't matter anymore.
yeah. That's true. It's at your leisure. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. But let's say you plan for retirement properly. You're just straight chilling for the rest of your life, which is
Hmm.
cool. That's a good feeling. Like, basically no worries at all.
Yeah, and I think it's even if you have work, it's just I think you said it
Yeah.
very well. It's like the rat race is kind of, yeah, you're out of it. You've unhooked from the matrix.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, Joe, you got to give us one of your questions. I know you only have two.
Okay.
You've had too much time to think.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out which one. If I know we've talked about this before a long time ago, but what I feel, and I know you, I think I know what answer you guys would give me, but what decade do you feel is like speaks to you the most? In
Yeah, I
the
remember this question.
in from any, and I'm gonna cut it down because I know what your answer might be, Chris. So I'm
Okay.
gonna say anywhere from 1900 till now. So the past 125 years.
1900 to now. Okay. I don't know, man.
Decade 80s or the 20s.
I figured both of you might say the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember we had this conversation on an
Mm-hmm.
episode at one point.
Yeah.
I think I said the same thing, like Peaky Blinders, kind of. Well, yeah, that's after World War One. But then again, it's like you think about the amenities you lose in the 1920s. Like, I like to take a shower or a bath, and like there's the scene in Peaky Blinders where they're preparing to go on a date, and you see like the woman and the man, and they're like filling up a bowl of water with hot water, and they're having to like wash themselves, and
Yeah.
think about going to take a dump, like where you're going to be going. uh I think I like the fashion of the 1920s. I think I like the a lot of those things. I don't know, like I think the 70s would be interesting. The 80s, to be an adult in the 80s would be maybe kind of interesting, because I think the 80s were kind of like a good time to be an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about
Great.
you? What would
Great.
you say, Joe?
To be okay, so
I
good
like
thing
the
you
50s
preference.
too, to be honest with you.
That's so to me.
I
I
like
would
the
say
50s.
late 50s or the 80s.
Yeah, that's
But
probably
you have
valid.
to also you prefaced it by saying an adult. I should have put that in there too. To be an adult, I would say the 80s, just to be able to experience the wide spectrum of different cultural events that happened in the 80s as an
Mhm.
adult as opposed to being a kid or like a toddler. I
Yeah.
think that's cool, and you still get to experience a little bit of modernity without actually having to deal with the nonsense that we have to deal with now. So yeah.
Yeah, like pre-internet might actually be like an interesting time to be an adult. In the 80s, I mean, that kind of would have been pre-internet.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's also great, good, like iconic cultural things that came out of the '80s: music, film, TV, everything, fashion. It's
Yeah, I
all
think
coming.
80s is probably an
w-
interesting
it-
time.
It's all coming back again
I think the
now too.
50s would have been interesting to be an adult, but I think the world was a little bit more chaotic at that time. So as an
Yeah,
adult, it might have also had a season of kind of like unpredictability. I mean, the 80s had the Cold War still,
Yeah, it did. It did.
but
I
I
don't.
don't know. I don't know if people felt it. Like, I don't know if I asked my parents, like, did they really feel it when they were in their 20s in the 80s? I don't think they did. Maybe.
yeah.
Um,
No, I know
Good
my
question.
parents never talked about like political stuff. They were adults. Were they? Yeah, in the '80s. Yeah,
I mean, I
late
know when they
'80s.
were kids, my parents are 65. So when they were kids, they did do drills. So they were of that generation where like they had like
Hmm.
nuclear drills. Get under your desk. Like
Go
that's
under
when
the
they
Dusk.
desk.
couldn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
do
yeah,
anything. Um, yeah. All right, that's good.
yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right, Avery, you're up. I know you got a bunch of questions.
Um, I have. Would you guys ever want? Let's go international on this one. Would you guys
Okay,
ever want to go to the? I guess this is sports, but it transcends it.
that's fine.
The Olympics, like, but not the
Yeah.
Olympics in the United States. I want to go to the Olympics abroad.
And let's also make it because there's
Yeah,
winter and there's summer. So you
yeah, that's a good question
preference.
too. I would go to one of my biggest regrets, guys, is when I was living in Italy, the Olympics were in Torino.
Oh, really?
I should have went to that. The Winter Olympics. It was Winter Olympics. That was a massive mistake in my life. I was right there. It was like a hour train ride from
Yeah.
Florence.
And the nice
I
thing with the
don't know
Winter
why I
Olympics
didn't do
is
that.
like it's outside. You could easily go and probably just
Yeah,
and watch.
yeah. And do you know the rumors about the Olympic Village,
Oh God.
Joe? So Chris, there's
I know the rumors.
the Olympic Village is notorious for a
Uh,
lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot, whatever you
Yeah,
like.
Avery's just like that is the
Yeah,
moral of all of his stories.
it's
He's
just
like, how can I
partying.
sneak in?
Yeah, all
uh,
my events revolve around some kind of a party. Yeah, yeah.
It's like
The
yeah,
Olympic, yeah,
exactly.
The Village is notorious for a lot of action. I
I mean,
would
you
say.
have
Yeah,
you have young men and women who
yeah,
are
exactly,
peak physical shape.
precisely.
That's going to happen. Period.
yeah.
Yeah,
Military,
exactly.
I think it happens a lot. Like there's a lot of shenanigans with now that the
Yeah,
military is co-ed. Like you have 20 something people because you're young, you're in
yeah.
peak shape most
Hmm.
often, and now we're putting you in close quarters. That's how babies are made.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, but you said it.
That's how it's gonna
You couldn't have
happen.
said it better.
That's how you create
Precisely.
super soldiers.
Yeah.
Good. I would do. So what was the question? It was
What
which
would
Would you
one?
go to
what?
yeah?
Yeah. What Olympics? What would be the Olympic city that you would want
Oh,
to go see the
interesting.
most? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it would be,
Anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter.
and it's where they've already happened, or just period if they happen
No,
in a city.
if it gets there, would you go to it? Yeah.
Damn. Okay, that's a good question. Joe, do you have an answer for that one?
Um. Okay. So I will preface this by saying I'm not a fan of the Olympics, but if I
Why is that?
was, I'm just not a fan of international competition. That's not my thing.
Joe, you are the most
I don't
unique,
understand what that
crazy
means.
individual. You have rules
What?
and preferences that, for the life of me, don't always make sense.
Trust me, I've heard this I've heard this countless times. Yes,
Yeah,
I have
Is
way
there
too
an
many.
explanation that you have?
It all
Jesus.
boils down to like nationalism and patriotism. I just
your
I can't.
philosophical belief system is
Yeah,
preventing you from
yeah,
liking
I
the
can't
Olympics.
get into it.
I get it.
Can't
All
get
right,
into it.
Joseph
fair enough.
Mark is a proud boy over here. Come on.
All
Jesus
right.
Christ.
But
Yeah.
if you had the opportunity to go
Athens.
live, I would
Athens.
Athens. Okay,
Yeah,
That's a good one.
because
that's a good
I think that was the first city to host
That's correct.
an Olympics. So, and if I was gonna do, it wouldn't be today's Athens. It would be like maybe 1920s or whenever they hosted the Olympics back then.
Okay.
That time frame, just to see the venues that they had at that time, and yeah, I would do it then.
I think
And,
that's a good idea because now it's become a little too the pomp. I think is
and
like
corporate too.
yeah.
Yeah, no true. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just throw out random. I'd say like Japan, a city in Japan.
Yeah.
I've never been to Japan, but I've talked to people who've traveled there, and I think it would be interesting to be there for an event. I think that they like do a good job at like spectacle and also like reverence and like I think it would be like a very memorable experience, like all around.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you don't even have to watch the events. You're in Japan, so you can do
Yeah.
things that you want.
But I think it'd be cool to like how
Yeah.
they would prepare
Yeah.
for all of these athletes that come, like MMA. If you like follow MMA, like a lot of the fighters talk about when they fought in Japan because Japan also had like a promotion. They loved being in Japan, like how they were treated, like the culture, the respect. Um, they like honored what they were doing. So I think it would be like the Olympics would probably be very interesting. They'd probably put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, the competition and competitors and athletes are revered in Japan. It's not just that wrestling has the
wrestling's the same.
The second biggest promotion in the world is New Japan Pro Wrestling in Japan. A lot of wrestlers train there and then come back to WWE. So
yeah.
I mean, I would.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know, man. I would do it. I would want to go to Africa, though, like Morocco, like North Africa.
North Africa would be interesting.
Yeah, Morocco or Egypt somewhere, because then I can do things in Egypt that I've always.
Yeah,
wanted to do.
imagine like watching like the Summer Olympics and in the background are the pyramids.
Yeah, look how sick that would be. Yeah,
That would be like that
the
picture would be
weather,
insane.
man.
It wouldn't be conducive, obviously, right? Like, but
it would be hot as hell.
it'd be
Yeah,
hot.
but still.
Hot.
But
Hot
that's
and
what
dry.
I think you would have to, if they ever had the Summer Olympics in Egypt, they would have to push it to like October, November.
You'd be
summer.
roasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
You
gonna be
can't
inside
put
the
it
whole
in
time.
July. You can't do it. Yeah.
All right. So here, my next question would be: it's kind of simple. What's one bucket list item? Do you have any bucket list items? And what is one that you would want to share?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
I have many things. Bucket list.
And that you can share.
That I can't share. Yeah, there's things. There's plenty of things I won't say on there.
Yeah, it can be low hanging
saying?
fruit. It doesn't need to be like I don't know. I'll go first. So one,
Yeah,
I
you
think,
go first.
and I don't even know if this is a bucket list item. It's like a dream I think I've always had for whatever. I think it came from watching cartoons, dude. Cartoons I think messed me up, man. I watched too much Batman as a kid. Not good. I would love to be out of the rat race at a young age. Youngish. Like I don't want to wait till I'm 70. I would love to like that's why I want to like start businesses because like in my mind that's the only way out of the rat race at a youngish age. I think that's like it's a bucket list item. Maybe bucket list item is not the right a goal. Let's call it that.
Yeah, goal.
That's I would say I like that one though. Yeah, basically not having to worry about any finances is such a major relief.
Or to be the one controlling them. It's not like I have to
yeah.
go to work and then this guy's going to tell me what to do. And I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to have like control of your destiny in some other.
Yeah, I've always ever since I was younger, I've always had an issue with like authority as well.
Same.
So I like that as well. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I think I would want to live in like a Spanish speaking country. I would like let's say I would want to live in like Buenos Aires.
Bro,
or
go to
Chile.
Argentina, man.
I
Get
would go to
BJ's to
Chile first.
transfer you, man. Like, there's
Yeah.
got to be a BJ's there. Go to
Yeah.
Argentina, man.
I would go to Chile first
All right.
because Chile has more.
A lot of
Like,
Israelis in Argentina. You know that, right?
I do, and Italians
And
and
Italians, yes.
Italian expats. But in Chile you get like the Inca, like
Oh, yeah.
the what's the word I'm looking for? Indigenous. You get like the indigenous feel and the artwork and stuff like that. Chile is huge, and Peru, one of those two.
How long would you want to live in these places?
I would want to at least a couple years.
Oh, damn. Bro, get on it.
Or Canada.
Okay,
Vancouver,
so we
Canada.
know that. It's either you're
That's
going to
just,
go marry yourself a French-speaking Canadian or get lost
good.
in somewhere in the Amazonian rainforest.
Yeah, get lost in like the what do they call the Nazca lines in Peru? Somewhere, live somewhere there where I can connect with the stars. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
it's the ley lines.
Yeah, exactly.
The ley lines is like in Game of Thrones, man. You're going to become the three-eyed raven, just like
Oh God.
That's what I want to be.
Joseph.
I want to have all the knowledge. Yeah. I want to
Alright.
be Bran Stark. That should have been the answer. I want to be Bran Stark. Except I want to be able to walk.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
say, what? Get stuck
That's
in
a bad way
tree
to
for the
go.
rest
Yeah.
of eternity.
Yeah.
All right, Joey, what do you got?
Probably I'll probably jump on Rob's bucket list item and probably just live in the British Isles, like go to either London or Edinburgh for like a year or two, just to and live there, not just visit. But yeah, I'd say probably just live there for like a year or two.
That'd be pretty cool. I could also see you living in like France,
See, that's
like Paris or something.
I would love
But you
to
have to
do
go back to your
Paris.
suits, man.
Yeah,
you
but
need
I
to go
don't think
back to
so.
your suits.
I don't think you can do not France.
I
Not
would
for me. I don't see that. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to learn the language,
The
though. That's
language,
the
yeah.
problem. But I love
That's what I'm saying.
I love the architecture. Yeah, I couldn't do the food, but definitely the language I don't want to learn it for sure. That's
So
what-
what
you know,
is
in the
that? Why
future-
you're attracted to London so much? What always attracts you to England and London?
It's a good question.
It's very similar in terms of architecture to France, although they got destroyed a bit more because they resisted during World War II, so they have a bit more newer architecture. But it's also their way of living is a little more slowed down compared to the United States, although it's not as slow as like Spain or France.
Yeah.
And they're a bit more carefree, and they tell you what's on their mind a bit more. So yeah, it's just, to me, it's just like a kind of way of living that I would want to be a part of.
That's cool, man.
I see. Yeah, I like English people and I like English football. That's why I'm attracted. But I wouldn't want to live in England. The weather is terrible.
I love the weather.
The
Love it.
weather is overcast, rainy.
But that's what
cold.
Joe likes. He likes Seattle. Like, he
going to
likes
Seattle
rain.
on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, I mean I don't like the rain. Let's
At least
be honest.
Seattle has forests and stuff. England doesn't have that.
Yeah, they cut down their forests.
They got nothing. It's just gray, and flat.
yeah, but like Edinburgh, I think is wooded. And,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's-
is more remote.
Yeah, and
I mean, also
that's
the
Scotland,
UK
though.
is
Scotland,
very
yeah.
big. Yeah, like I could see you living in like Ireland or
Dublin.
Dublin.
But also,
or-
Ireland has like hills and
Yeah,
mountains and
that's true.
stuff. It's not.
I mean, I
I would
see-
not
I-
want to live in London.
I see the next generation of Joe being a tweed generation. If you
There's
go to-
no.
Hey,
All right, whoa,
he's
whoa,
living
whoa.
in the UK.
There's no
you're
next
going-
generation.
You're going full tweed, my
The
man.
line is ending with
No,
me.
dude.
Yes, it is.
Going back.
It is.
No,
you
I
move to
like that.
Europe, the hoodies is gone. It's not gonna happen.
No, yeah, the tweed sport coats.
You're
coming
not
out.
gonna feel
Yeah,
comfortable. People are gonna make fun of you.
Oh my god.
He's gonna
and-
start rocking.
And it's gonna be
eyeglasses.
like he's gonna be looking at the mirror. It's gonna be a scene. He's like looking in the mirror, and it's like his closet opens and there's already a suit there waiting. He's like, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, the suit is gonna talk to him. Yeah.
Put me on now.
He's
Oh,
gonna
it's
look.
fine.
He's gonna look like a character in a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
Walking out, strutting.
yeah, exactly. With like some British punk music playing in the
Yeah,
background.
I'm down. I think
Yeah.
this is you should do this.
Yeah.
I think this is it. This should happen.
This should be a goal.
All right, so we're about to wind down. Let's real quick. We're gonna do we're gonna touch base on UFC 315 since Bobby A is starting to become a commentator,
Yeah.
an
Oh, I'm
analyst
watching
of
this
the
one.
game.
I'm watching this one, Chris. So the prelims are on ESPN directly, which is awesome.
Nice.
So I might catch a couple of those. And yeah, in the only one prelim I'm interested in though is Andrade just fighting again, and I can't pronounce her name, Chris. Jasmine Jasadavish.
I don't know, man. This is
She's
Street
good
Fighter,
though.
dude. They got
I,
people coming from all
yeah,
over the world. I got no
she's.
idea.
I've seen her fight once though. She's good, and Andrade we all know. But let's go to the main card. So we have the Joe Rogan loves this guy, Benoit Saint-Denis. Speaking, he used to be in the French military,
Yeah.
right? Am I right?
Mhm.
So he's fighting. It's in Montreal, Canada. So you got the French flavor already, and he's fighting a Canadian guy. Do you know Kyle Prepolek?
I don't know him. I don't think I've ever seen him fight. I'm trying to pull him up right now.
Yeah,
That should be
but
interesting. I mean,
I like Saint Denis. He's a minus 1,500 favorite, so they're predicting he's gonna pound this guy. But we'll
he
see.
so remember, if you remember his first fight, he dominated. Then he
lost his last one, right?
fought Dustin Poirier, and it was like
Yeah.
he got humbled a little bit, I think, because he comes out like a bat out of hell. He's like, it's the first round. He's just a madman, and I think when he fought Dustin Poirier, they know how to like slow it down and like take time. And I think as time went on, he started to get beat up pretty bad. So I think this is his first fight back, I think, since he fought Dustin Poirier.
He got knocked out by Poirier. It was a KO.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, I think I remember watching that March 2024. So it's been a while. Yeah. But
all right, so then
the next one is Grasso is fighting. I like her. Grasso against Silva. I don't know anything about, but
now
we
is
all
she
know Grasso.
from the Fighting Nerds? Let's see. She's from the Fighting Nerds, dude. It's hilarious. Yeah,
they're good. They're all good.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's fighting with the Fighting Nerds.
So I'll talk about Grasso while I look her up. Grasso, she's Mexican. She's cool. She's really good. She had the trilogy with Shevchenko. She won one, split one, and then lost the last one. But she's excellent. She should win this fight.
Yeah, I don't think she's with the Fighting Nerds.
Yeah, Grasso is more of a striker. She's like a boxer, so which is like traditional Mexican boxing. And Silva she's not BJJ for being Brazilian. She's Taekwondo.
Interesting. Interesting. Actually, that's actually very interesting. It's almost like out of Brazil. It's like you're a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like almost as a prerequisite.
Yeah. Do you know? And then the next one. So I'm going Grasso. That one easy.
Okay.
Even though Silva is the favorite in the odds, but I'm taking Grasso. You know Jose Aldo, Chris?
I do. You've seen him fight. He
right.
was a champion, I think, in a couple weight classes. He's had a very long career.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's probably our age or close to it. I mean, look how many fights he has. He's had 32 wins.
Yeah, he's
32 times he's been locked in a cage with someone and has come out victorious. That's insane. It's insane.
Dude, he has 17 knockouts.
Yeah, it's insane. Now, the guy he's fighting, I'll give you a little backstory.
I don't know anything about this guy.
The guy he's fighting, let me just double check. His brother, I think it's his brother. Yeah, so I think this guy's brother is a like kind of world renowned MMA coach who was let me just double check. Brother, older, yeah, Faraz. So Faraz Zabi is like a very, very famous MMA coach out of Canada who coached what's his name, George St. Pierre, and this is his
Oh,
younger brother that is now fighting in the UFC. So he's
no.
supposed to be pretty decent. I think he's been in there for a long time. I've heard varying comments on the odds. What is the who are the oh dude, I hate to go.
I'll give you the
What are the odds?
so to your point, Aldo just got inducted to the Dana White just
Yeah,
told him he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of
So
Fame.
he's good. It's Aldo's the favorite minus 195. It's close. It's close though, but he's the favorite.
All right, and then let's just go to the
And
main card.
these are the two fights here. Shevchenko, one of my favorites of all time. She's the underdog, Chris,
Yeah, I heard that.
against Manon Ferriot, who's from France. So the Montreal crowd will be behind her. So Shevchenko will have to battle the crowd as well. Um, I don't know. Is she a kickboxer? I know Shevchenko's background Muay Thai. This girl, no, she's a karate background. Um, how many fights in a row? I've never seen.
Never seen her fight before, to be honest
I've
with you.
never seen her fight. She lost her first fight professionally, and then she hasn't lost since. But that wasn't UFC. She's undefeated in UFC.
Giddy up.
She's 8-0 in UFC,
Oh, man.
and she beat Namajunas when Namajunas was good before she went away. No, Thug Rose used to be a champion multiple
Yeah.
times. She beat Thug Rose and then Blanchfield, who's also good too. Like this woman is dangerous.
Thug Rose.
Dude, man,
That's
it's
her nickname.
fighting. They
What
got
in the
names, man.
fuck?
They got weird
That's her
names.
nickname. Her name is Rose Namajunas. She's actually they call her Thug Rose, but she's actually super Christian.
Yeah,
She is.
yeah, she is.
I like her. She's cool.
Yeah. I mean, the personality, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Blanchfield is no joke either. Erin Blanchfield. She's American. Her nickname is Cold Blooded. She's good though. She's a beast as well. I'm going Shevchenko. Even
All
though
right.
she's underdog, I'm going the underdog again.
You're going with
Vala is my girl. That's my girl.
all right. And then finally,
And then we have Bilal. I don't know who's his opponent. I don't know anything about him.
he's
which is-
Australian, I believe.
Bilal, I know. I've seen him several
Jack
times.
de la Maddalena.
So what's he like, Chris?
I think he's primarily a striker. He is Australian. I think he fights with like this that Australian that was are they Australian or New Zealand? Let me double check. Australian. Yeah, I think he fights with that whole crew.
Scrappy MMA. That's the team.
I'm trying to think who he fights with. I think some of
is it
Perth,
Volkanovski?
Australia. Yeah, I want to say it's that crew, but I thought they fought in New Zealand. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, he's been around for a while. He's very good. I think he's primarily a striker, but like these guys, they're high level MMA. Like they can strike, they can wrestle, they can do jujitsu and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of like he prefers striking, whereas Bilal is like wrestling.
Yeah, Bilal.
Pretty much that's
Bilal
his
is
like.
the champion. But to your point, Madalena has 17 wins, Chris, and 14 finishes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's another
That's
dangerous
crazy.
man. I don't know. That's a toss up for me. I've never seen Madalena, so by default, I don't have a favorite like I do in the Shevchenko one.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. So I'm gonna pick Bilal just purely because I've seen
'Cause he's
him.
a-
I
yeah.
know what he like. But
Well, one thing is if Bilal loses, he says he's going to go up to 185. And then
that's
and then
interesting. That's middleweight, right?
Makhachev is going to go to 170.
Oh,
So that would be interesting.
yeah.
Well, anyone who's going to watch it, yeah, it's to tune in. I think it's Eastern time. It'll probably be 10 o'clock is when the main card goes on.
Right. And
All right.
prelims are at 8 p.m.
Perfect. And you can watch them on ESPN.
You can watch it on cable, straight cable, yeah.
So we're going to go back to Joe as we wind this episode. Joe asked one question. Now, Joe, ask us. We're going to end on your second question.
Yeah, give us something, man.
Since I know MMA is not your thing and you had to listen to us talk through the card, you get a chance to end this episode.
You guys had me actually thinking while you were going off about UFC 315. I'm not sure if you played this game, Chris. I know you know of the game, but if you had to choose a Street Fighter character, who would you guys choose?
I like that question.
Good question.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I
I know
liked.
I had my 2 characters.
Ooh, who did I like using the most? I liked Guile because he
Yep.
was American.
Yeah.
And he has themes. He has the best theme song of all of
Mhm.
them. That theme song
Yeah,
is
to me, that's what sold it for me.
yeah. And he's fighting in like an Air Force base with a plane behind him. That was his fighting ground. Yeah. But I also liked I liked using what's his name? Not Ryu, Ken. Ken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken was my guy.
It was Ken. Also American, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was either gonna be Ken or I was gonna be who's like the yoga guy.
Yoga.
Dalsim.
Oh,
Dalsim.
with the stretchy
Yeah.
arms.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 characters I always used to play. And then, dude, I had back in the day, we had this like controller. It was the ultimate hack controller where you could like so like A B C D whatever, right? So like with Street Fighter there was a certain button, if you hit it it would do their superpower. So we had this controller, I don't know where we got it, but
What in the?
you could flip it, like there was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
toggle, and I could just be like, and then when I toggled it on, A is constantly being held. So when we were cheating against each other, I'd be the who was like the monster character who had electric.
Blanca.
Blanca.
Yeah.
That was like me and my brother. Neither of us could play that character because if you played that character, you won. Because you just flip the button and it's like
It's fucked up.
you're just crouched over, electrocuting for like nonstop.
Yeah.
Ken was
Blanca.
I liked Ken. Ken was a fun character to play.
Yeah, no, but that's what the old school video term I think is like cheese. That's a cheese move.
Yeah, it
Cheese,
really
you,
is.
you would cheese people with Blanca, but the Vega, remember Vega?
Vega
with
was
the
cool too.
mask.
Yeah.
He was the Spanish
Yeah.
like matador guy.
There was a cartoon for Street Fighter when we were kids too. That was actually kind of cool.
Ooh,
Did you watch that?
no,
It was cool because then they go into the characters more and like they have interesting backstories.
yeah. So Vega also had a cheese move because Vega could bounce off things. Where like if
Yeah,
you're
oh, yeah.
playing with Guile couldn't jump off part of things. Vega could jump off the screen, the cage. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So then,
e-
go ahead. No, go ahead.
each character had like if you can figure out their special moves,
Yeah, you just keep.
you just keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cool thing back in the day for us is now kids can just go online and it's like, how do I do this move? We
Good
had to
point.
figure it out. There was no FAQ to figure out everyone's special moves. When you just mashed the buttons a little bit when you were practicing.
Yeah.
And then you figure out like, how did I just do that? All right, now I'm gonna keep using the Vega jumping off the cage and just
It's a good point.
and just slashing you.
Yeah, you discovered it because it was
Yeah,
like
exactly,
you couldn't
that's
go
the right
like to maybe there were some forums at a certain point. So, dude, let me. I want to piggyback off yours, Joe. Like, what was your favorite? Like arcade, I was a fan of X-Men.
Yeah.
Did you play the
knew that was
gonna be
X-Men
your
game?
answer.
Yep.
What was your favorite character? The great thing about that game is that like
Cyclops.
8 people
Yeah,
could play at
for
the
me.
same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you could have all your friends playing the one game at the same time.
That's
Damn.
right.
I'd have to say either Gambit or Cyclops.
I
Oh,
like
damn,
Cyclops.
dude.
Yeah.
I was Wolverine and Nightcrawler. Because
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler could just like zig and
Yeah.
zag,
Yeah.
and then Wolverine had awesome powers. He could like slash, grab you, throw you with his hooks or with his claws.
yeah.
That was my game. I had many fond memories.
But was that your favorite, Joe? Was
Arcade
that your
game?
favorite arcade game? in
Definitely
general?
favorite arcade game. Definitely.
It
Was
wasn't
X-Men?
mine.
Yeah, X-Men.
And same with you, Chris.
I think
X-Men?
I think that's a go. If I still see it, I'm gonna go play it.
There
Yeah.
used to be a bar in Bed-Stuy that had an old school arcade, and they
Holy
had all
shit.
these games. I liked The Simpsons personally. The Simpsons, and my favorite was Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That was my
Ninja
favorite.
Turtles
arcade
was a
game.
good game too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think also a bunch of people could play that. Like you
Yep.
could do missions with
You
like
you had 4. You can
yeah,
be all
okay.
4 turtles. Yeah.
which is very cool.
Yeah, but like I was never into like the Pac-Man I mean, I like playing Pac-Man.
I don't like that generation of games.
Yeah, I like the ones like you said, like the fighting scrolling ones where multiple players. Yeah.
Like the 90s video games, I like. But like if you go to like a barcade and it's like like games from like the 70s,
Nah.
I'm not like the Pac-Mans, like the some of those
Tetris.
games I don't
Tetris.
enjoy them. But the fighting games like Tekken, I love Tekken.
I
I
was
could play
never
Tekken
good
forever.
at Tekken or
So
Mortal Kombat.
I would have never
I love
pictured you
Tekken.
as a gamer, Chris.
I mean, yeah, I played fighting games. Like Soul Calibur, do you remember that game?
I remember that.
I
game.
remember.
I
it.
love
Never
that
played
game,
it.
and I did good at it.
What
But,
about
like,
Marvel versus Capcom?
I love that game too, man. Mortal Kombat, I played it.
Oh
Tekken,
man.
played it.
Never
X-Men,
played those
played
games.
a lot of
Yeah.
it. But like
Yeah.
RP, like games where you're gonna like have to read all of this stuff and like go through these worlds. I never got into that. Like Final Fantasy.
The role playing games, the RPGs.
That was you?
Yeah.
I'm not
was
surprised,
me.
actually. I could see you playing that kind of
I
stuff.
played the open world Final Fantasy
Just
stuff. Yeah.
so the trailer dropped for talking about RPG for Grand Theft Auto is gonna be dropped in May 2026.
Yeah. It got pushed back. It's been, we talked about it.
We did.
I told you, Chris, it's been like 14 years since GTA 5, now GTA 6, 14
That's
years.
crazy.
That game is going to be sick.
It is,
They've
and
been working on it for 14 years, man.
if you look at the two trailers, you can see a drastic difference in terms of the quality of
It's going to be awesome.
just the graphics, and then what they do with the backgrounds. It's like insane what they have. They have like raccoons and garbage cans, all these little details that you wouldn't think you would see in a fucking video game. It's just weird.
Well, I think the worlds are getting so much more. I mean, because they're also building games for, like, people are going to play this game with, like, goggles. Like, you'll be able to use probably Apple Vision or Oculus or something like that. And, like, the immersive experience is going to increase. So the game environments are just going to get more and more complicated. And, like, enjoy, like, you know what I mean? Like, sensory. Like, you're going to, like, really like, get lost in those worlds. I might play that game. Like,
You'll need a PS5, though.
I have one.
Oh, get out of here.
Nice.
Do you?
My brother gave me one.
That's crazy.
What
It's
is
a
it?
great gift to
PS5?
get.
Yeah, I think it's a PS5.
Yeah,
That's
you'll
not the
need
newest one, is
PS5.
it?
It is the newest
Oh,
one.
then I don't. I have
I
the
don't-
PS4.
Okay.
No, I don't think you can play it on PS4.
What?
You'll need the new. I don't think so. I could be
That's-
wrong,
That's nuts.
but I think you need the new one. Yeah.
The
Okay.
debauchery.
I might be wrong. Let's see.
The debauchery in that game is it's a lot to deal with though.
What, the debauchery?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can go to strip clubs and stuff, Chris.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
it's yeah. I mean, that's gonna be dangerous.
awesome.
Like gaming is gonna become a conversation at some point, because it already was a conversation. It was a conversation before it really had need to be a conversation. Imagine when it's like you can put on VR glasses and literally you're like able to like bang characters. Like,
yeah,
and it's your
no,
14-year-old child
Dude.
playing this game. Like, it's not good.
I know. In the last one, you can go to the strip club. You see the nudity. There were kids
Yeah.
seeing
And
this.
the nudity is going to
Really?
get clearer
Yes.
and more real looking.
I believe so.
I haven't played any video games.
Really
in
got
like
excited.
10
He's like,
plus
I
years,
got to
so-
go buy myself a PS5.
No, I mean
Yeah.
the main reason why I played GTA was to just see what level.
The graphics.
No, not the graphics. To see what level of shenanigans I can get myself into. Like if I could crash the car around, and if the police would come, and then the military, and then just the airstrikes.
So you're a terrorist. That's what you're telling me. You trained yourself to create
Always be
terror and to draw as much resources to your terror attack.
It was
Yeah.
just.
Joseph
It's
Mark,
weird
man.
to see how
The tanks
it
come
would-
out. I
it was
remember.
just- it would escalate. It was like
That's
the
interesting.
FBI and then the military. It was
First,
just
first it's the
weird.
regular cops,
Yep.
then it's the FBI, then it's the security guard.
Yeah,
The
it's like-
security, what's the word I'm looking for? The National Guard.
National
Yeah.
Guard, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh,
So yeah, I was right, Chris. It's only confirmed Rockstar Games, which makes it you need a PS5.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's
the only
fucking-
other game I'm kind of curious or interested in to maybe doing at some point is like the racing simulators, where you actually have like the seat
I had
But
one of those. I had the wheel. I bought the wheel.
yeah, and I think they've gotten like so much more sophisticated where like literally if you can master it, you could probably get in a car and drive. Like
Yes,
it's that because essentially that's how they train. Like the Formula One,
Yeah.
a lot of the
they
training
use
is just
those.
simulators, right? Like
They use the
so
simulators.
I had a guy I worked with and he had like a full on kit, like the whole thing. And I was like, I'm tempted to like maybe buy one and like do it.
I
I don't
had
know.
that. It was like it was one from the early
Yeah.
2000s, but I had one because when I watched, I told you guys my dream with when I saw Days of Thunder, one of the first movies I saw, I wanted to be an auto racing driver. Uh, One of my
Interesting.
favorite movies, by the way. That was my dream as a kid. My first dream ever was to be an auto racing driver. So I got one of those, and my brother and I, we would play like racing, but it was stock car racing. It wasn't the
Yeah.
open wheel like Formula
Like
One.
Daytona.
Yeah, like I would race Daytona on my computer, on like the old desktop HP computer.
Watching Days of Thunder in the background. Just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like...
And then we all know who's in that movie. You know what I'm saying? You know, Chris.
Actually, I'm like secretly looking it up.
No, you
seen this
know,
movie
look,
so long.
the cast is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Look up the cast, but there,
Yeah.
don't say the name, but look, you'll see the name.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Are you on Wikipedia?
Yeah,
I'll
no,
guide you.
I just searched it on Google, so I'm looking at the cast.
Wikipedia Days of.
I mean, we got
Go
Tommy
to,
Cruise.
we got Cruz, we got Duvall, we got John C. Riley. Just keep going. Carrie Elways. Go to the
Carrie
Wikipedia
Elwes.
Go to the Wikipedia page or the IMDb.
I know what Rob is hinting at. I'm surprised Chris is not getting. And I didn't even
Yeah.
work with you guys.
I
but-
know. I don't know why you're not getting
Oh,
this.
okay, hold on.
You see
Yeah,
who it is now?
yes, now I know you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Now I know you're talking about.
That's a full circle moment right there. That's why
Oh, dude, that okay, yeah,
I
No,
know the stories on the set.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Residual checks, baby. Days of Thunder's on TV all the time. That's a you getting the check all day long. Yeah. But yeah, we could but that's what I wanted. I had the same setup that your friend has.
Very
Had
cool.
the full racing, the brakes, there was the brakes, pedals, the gas.
We got to do a game. We'll do a gaming episode because I'd like to know more about the gaming world because I don't. We can bring your brother on and he can become our expert on the subject.
Yeah, well, he's coming on soon. When do you get back, Joe? When is your record? We could talk about it backstage.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah,
But ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
thank you for tuning into this episode. This was just again a wandering conversational parkour. Hope you know there's a little nostalgia here as well. So hope you got something out of it.
Last week.
And we'll catch you again next week.